Automatic launch sequence initiated for LVM3-M6 BlueBird Block-2 mission.
ऑटोमेटिक लॉन्च सीक्वेंस शुरू कर दिया गया है। अब कुछ अंतिम गतिविधियों के पश्चात तथा अंतिम जांच के पश्चात ऑनबोर्ड कंप्यूटर स्वतः ही प्रथम चरण का प्रज्वलन शुरू करेगा।
We are 15 minutes away from the launch. Meanwhile, let me give you a brief about the rocket. The LVM-3 rocket stands 43.5 meters tall and weighs 640 tons at liftoff. It is a three-stage launch vehicle. The first stage being the two S-200 strap-on boosters operating on HTPB-based solid propellant. There is 204-ton propellant in each booster, while its size is 26.22 meters long and 3.2 meters in diameter. The Earth-storable liquid propellant-based L110 stage forms the core. This 21.4 meter long and 4 meter in diameter stage operates on the combination of UH-25 and N2O4. The upper stage is called C-25 and operates on cryogenic propellant combination of liquid hydrogen and liquid oxygen. This has 28.5 tons of propellant loading. The ogive-shaped payload fairing has a diameter of 5 meters and a height of 11 meters.
LVM3 की संरचना कुछ इस प्रकार है। LVM3 में दो सॉलिड स्ट्रैप-ऑन बूस्टर जिसे हम S-200 कहते हैं, एक तरल नोदक वाले कोर चरण L110 के साथ संलग्न रहते हैं और तृतीय चरण है क्रायो अपर स्टेज जिसे C-25 स्टेज कहा जाता है। यह हाई थ्रस्ट क्रायोजेनिक अपर स्टेज भी कहलाता है। S-200 मोटर लगभग 2004 टन के ठोस प्रणोदक वाले दुनिया का सबसे बड़ा ठोस नोदक बूस्टर है। तरल नोदक वाले L110 चरण लगभग 115 टन तरल नोदक लिए रहते हैं। इसमें UH-25 तथा N2O4 का इस्तेमाल किया जाता है ईंधन के रूप में। इसके बाद C-25 क्रायोजेनिक ऊपरी चरण जो 28 टन क्रायोजेनिक ईंधन लिए हुए है। यह स्वदेशी हाई थ्रस्ट क्रायोजेनिक इंजन CE-20 का इस्तेमाल करता है। इसके ऊपर इक्विपमेंट बे और सबसे ऊपर में 5 मीटर व्यास के ऊष्मा कवच यानी हीट शील्ड में अंतरिक्ष यान को सुरक्षित किया गया है। इस तरह यान की कुल ऊंचाई 43.5 मीटर और कुल भार 640 टन का होता है।
We are 12 minutes and 20 seconds away from the launch. Let me describe the mission events. The ignition of the two S-200 boosters simultaneously marks the T0 scheduled at 8:55:30 seconds and the launch vehicle LVM3-M6 lifts off. The nominal burn duration for the S-200 motors is 132.5 seconds. The core L110 stage, powered by twin Vikas engines, ignites mid-air at an altitude of 45 kilometers and 106 seconds flight time. The two S-200 motors and L110 together thrust for some more time. At 132.5 seconds, the separation of S-200 boosters takes place. By this time, the rocket is imparted with a relative velocity of 1.5 kilometers per second. The separation of payload fairing. It's time now for a curtain raiser video.
Over the years, ISRO has established itself as a trusted global space player, successfully launching over 400 foreign satellites and demonstrating unmatched technical expertise and reliability. From PSLV-C2, carrying Germany's DLR TUBSAT and South Korea's KITSAT-3, to the record-breaking PSLV-C37, deploying 101 customer satellites in one go. And recent missions like LVM3-M2, OneWeb India 1, LVM3-M3, OneWeb India 2, and PSLV-C59, Proba 3. ISRO continues advancing space technology with precision and innovation.
ISRO is now set to embark on yet another landmark commercial mission, the LVM3-M6 BlueBird mission, to launch the US-based AST SpaceMobile's BlueBird communication satellite, Block-2, through New Space India Limited as a public sector undertaking of the Government of India under the Department of Space. LVM-3 launch vehicle is the ISRO's heaviest vehicle. Through its LVM3-M6 mission, it will deploy the BlueBird Block-2 satellite, weighing around 6,000 kilograms, into low Earth orbit.
The BlueBird Block-2 series forms part of Space Mobile Constellation Network, designed to provide direct-to-smartphone voice and broadband connectivity anywhere on Earth, without the need for ground hardware. The LVM-3 vehicle has an impeccable 100% proven success track record and has powered some of India's most prestigious missions, including Chandrayaan 2 and 3 and CMS-3 missions. Technically, LVM-3 is a three-stage launch vehicle featuring two S-200 solid strap-on boosters, a liquid core stage, L-110, and an indigenously developed high-thrust cryogenic upper stage, C-25, powered by liquid oxygen, LOX, and liquid hydrogen, LH2. Standing 43.5 meters tall, with a gross liftoff mass of 640 tons and a 5-meter diameter payload fairing, under the visionary leadership of the Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi, India has soared to the forefront of global space exploration. His transformative space reforms have ignited a new era of innovation, ambition, and discovery. With this mission, ISRO will once again showcase its mastery, reaffirming India's unstoppable rise as a global space power.
The mission events for this upcoming mission are going to be like this. At the burnout of L-110, the velocity of the rocket will be 1.5 kilometers per second. The separation of payload fairing and initiation of closed-loop guidance will take place at 174 seconds and 179 seconds respectively into the flight, since by then the rocket would have ascended over the dense atmosphere. The L-110 separation takes place 301.6 seconds into flight, having completed its 196 seconds burn time for this mission. The relative velocity at L-110 burnout is 3.4 kilometers per second, and the launch vehicle would have ascended to an altitude of 261.5 kilometers. 3 seconds later, the third stage, C-25 cryogenic stage, begins its operation. For the present mission, its burn duration is 12 minutes and 20 seconds. A significant delta V of 3.89 kilometers per second is imparted to the launch vehicle during C-25 operation, while it gains 255 kilometers altitude also. The orbital injection conditions for the AST BlueBird Block-2 satellite are expected to be achieved at 939.4 seconds into flight. The complete flight duration for the present mission is 15 minutes 40 seconds.
LVM3-M6 प्रमोशन का घटनाक्रम कुछ इस प्रकार है। सर्वप्रथम T0 पर दोनों ठोस नोदक वाले S-200 बूस्टर का प्रज्वलन शुरू होगा। इससे यान का प्रमोशन मंच से उत्थापन के लिए पर्याप्त प्रणोद प्राप्त होगा। यह प्रथम चरण लगभग 132 सेकंड तक प्रज्वलित रहेगा और यान को फ्लेक्स नोजल की मदद से दिशा निर्धारण करेगा। यह चरण यान को लगभग 73 किलोमीटर की ऊंचाई प्रदान करेगा। प्रथम चरण के कार्यकाल के पूर्व ही द्वितीय चरण यानी L110 तरल नोदक वाले चरण को भी प्रज्वलित किया जाएगा। दोनों चरण यानी S200 बूस्टर और L110 चरण लगभग 26 सेकंड तक साथ प्रज्वलित रहेंगे और इस तरह वो यान को 1.56 किलोमीटर प्रति सेकंड की सापेक्ष गति प्रदान करेंगे और इसके पश्चात उत्थापन से 132 सेकंड पर दोनों S200 बूस्टर्स यानी प्रथम चरण को यान से पृथक कर दिया जाएगा। द्वितीय चरण अपना कार्यकाल 200 सेकंड तक जारी रखेगा और इस दौरान यान कुल 261.6 किलोमीटर की ऊंचाई तथा 3.4 किलोमीटर प्रति सेकंड की सापेक्ष गति प्राप्त कर चुका होगा। द्वितीय चरण के दौरान यान घने वातावरण को पार कर चुका होगा और इसलिए यान से ऊष्मा कवच को पृथक कर दिया जाएगा। अतिरिक्त वजन को यान से पृथक करना ही यान की कुशलता और क्षमता को बढ़ाती है। द्वितीय चरण के कार्यकाल के पश्चात इसे भी यान से पृथक कर दिया जाएगा। पृथकन के 2 सेकंड के पश्चात ही तृतीय चरण यानी C25 क्रायोजेनिक स्टेज को प्रज्वलित किया जाएगा। यह अंतिम चरण है। इसका प्रज्वलन काल सबसे ज्यादा होता है। यह लगभग 600 सेकंड्स तक प्रज्वलित रहेगा। इस दौरान यान क्रायो ईंधन की मदद से 520 किलोमीटर की ऊंचाई प्राप्त कर लेगा और सापेक्ष गति 7.29 किलोमीटर प्रति सेकंड। कक्षा में प्रमोचन की उचित स्थितियां प्राप्त होते ही तृतीय चरण को स्वतः बंद किया जाएगा और तब ब्लूबर्ड Block-2 नामक उपग्रह को यान से अलग कर कक्षा में स्थापित किया जाएगा। उड़ान की उल्टी गिनती जारी है और अब हम उड़ान से 3 मिनट 28 सेकंड की दूरी पर हैं। सभी दर्शकों का यहां उत्साह, ये देखिए हाथ ऊपर करके उत्साह बढ़ाते हुए।
T-3 minutes.
ऑटोमेटिक लॉन्च सीक्वेंस जारी है। इस दौरान S200 बूस्टर्स और L110 सभी चरणों के फायरिंग लाइन को तैयार कर दिया गया है। अंतिम संचार जांच जारी है।
We are 2.5 minutes away from the scheduled launch time. When a huge rocket like LVM3 ignites, a condition of overpressure is generated. Thrusting of solid rocket motors creates enormous acoustic levels which have a potential to affect the electronic components in the launch vehicle and satellite. To mitigate the acoustic levels, the acoustic suppression system floods the launch pad with large amount of water through nozzles so that a denser medium of water prevails around the rocket for the acoustics to travel through.
2 minutes.
यह प्रमोचन मिशन दक्षिणी पूर्वी दिशा का मिशन है, इसलिए इसमें निरंतर नजर बनाए रखने के लिए भारत स्थित शार और पोर्ट ब्लेयर में स्थित रडार स्टेशन इसमें पूर्ण निगरानी बना के रखेंगे और इससे आगे निकलते हुए इंडोनेशिया स्थित बोगोर और ऑस्ट्रेलिया स्थित यत्रगा ग्राउंड स्टेशन की मदद से ट्रैकिंग की जाएगी।
The downrange tracking stations of Port Blair, Bogor and Yataraga will be participating for tracking the rocket apart from the Shar tracking station closer to the liftoff.
अब हम उड़ान से 1 मिनट की दूरी पर हैं।
Stand by for the time mark. T-1 minute.
दर्शकों की जानकारी के लिए बता दें,
-55
T-8 सेकेंड्स पर क्रायो स्टेज यान से अलग होंगे और T0 पर S200 बूस्टर्स प्रथम चरण का प्रज्वलन शुरू होगा।
HPP open.
We are 40 seconds away from T0.
Open.
The viewers may watch
35
out for the swing out of the cryo arms and the acoustic suppression system
Minus
starts
30
its
seconds.
operation.
Real-time programs activated.
VSPP open. Minus 25 seconds. Minus 20 seconds. Ignition ആരംഭിക്കാം. Minus 15 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Both S200 motors
Plus 5
ignited.
LVM3-M6 BlueBird Block-2 mission, a majestic liftoff.
Liftoff normal.
The rocket is beautifully searing through the bright Sriharikota sky.
Plus 20 seconds.
LVM3-M6 रॉकेट का सफलतापूर्ण उत्थापन द्वितीय प्रमोचन मंच से और अपनी उद्दिष्ट कक्षा की ओर बढ़ चला है LVM3-M6 रॉकेट। दोनों ठोस नोदक वाले S200 बूस्टर्स प्रज्वलित हैं। प्रथम चरण का कार्यकाल लगभग 126 सेकंड का होगा और इस दौरान यह लगभग 6000 किलो न्यूटन प्रणोद उत्पन्न कर रहे हैं।
Very thrilling vibration at the launch base due to the thrusting of twin S200 motors.
Plus 1 minute.
Shato is in main auto.
बहुत ही साफ नजारा देखने को मिल रहा है। यहाँ उपस्थित लोगों को बहुत ही रोमांच का अनुभव हो रहा होगा। बहुत दूर तक हम इस यान को देख पा रहे हैं और मुमकिन है कि प्रथम चरण का प्रतिकन भी देख सकेंगे।
Each S200 motors generates 5,952 kilonewtons. Burn duration for present mission is 132.5 seconds.
यान अपनी उद्दिष्ट दिशा का निर्धारण करते हुए अपने मिशन को पूरा करने के लिए अग्रसर है।
We are 111 seconds into the flight.
यहाँ इसकी पुष्टि हो चुकी है। द्वितीय चरण का प्रज्वलन शुरू हो चुका है जो कि L110 चरण है। इसका प्रज्वलन शुरू हो चुका है। अब दोनों स्टेप ऑन बूस्टर्स और L110
Performance normal.
चरण एक साथ प्रज्वलित हैं।
The L110 stage and the two S200 boosters.
Both S200 motors separated.
Just now we have had a confirmation of the separation of the two S200 boosters.
रेंज ऑपरेशन निदेशक द्वारा इसकी पुष्टि की गई। दोनों S200 बूस्टर को यान से पृथक कर दिया गया है। इसमें लगे जेटिसनिंग मोटर की मदद से उसे यान से सफलतापूर्वक और सुरक्षापूर्वक पृथक कर दिया जाता है।
We are 160 seconds into the flight. Current altitude 104 kilometers.
वर्तमान में L110 यानी द्वितीय चरण प्रज्वलित है।
Payload fairing separated.
Plus 3 minutes.
Closed
यान
loop
से
guidance initiated.
यान से ऊष्मा कवच को पृथक कर दिया गया है। अब यान 123 किलोमीटर की ऊंचाई पर प्राप्त कर चुका है और वर्तमान में यान क्लोज लूप गाइडेंस के अंतर्गत स्वतः दिशा निर्धारण कर रहा है।
The closed loop guidance has been initiated for LVM3 launch vehicle. Hereafter, the rocket will use real-time data from onboard sensors to continuously correct its flight path. The payload fairing has been already jettisoned as the rocket has cleared the dense atmosphere.
तरल नोदक पर आधारित यह चरण दो उच्च प्रणोद वाले विकास इंजन की मदद से कुल 1600 किलो न्यूटन का प्रणोद उत्पन्न करते हैं। इंजन की अधिकतम प्रभावी क्षमता प्राप्त करने के लिए ईंधन और ऑक्सीडाइजर का खास अनुपात मिलाकर यह प्राप्त किया जाता है। इस चरण का प्रज्वलन का लगभग 200 सेकंड का होगा। इस चरण में यान में लगे एक्सेलेरोमीटर और जायरोस की मदद से इंजन जिम्बल किया जाता है और यह क्लोज लूप गाइडेंस के अंतर्गत अपनी दिशा निर्धारण करता है।
First stage performance normal.
The second stage, L110, is continuing its operation. The two Vikas engines together generating 1600 kilonewton thrust. The tracking station at Shah Sriharikota continues to track.
जी हाँ, यान पूर्णतः सामान्य निष्पादन करता हुआ अपेक्षित पथ का अनुकरण करता हुआ उद्दिष्ट मिशन की ओर बढ़ रहा है।
Cryo stage authorization issued.
तृतीय चरण यानी क्रायो स्टेज चरण को अनुमोदित कर दिया गया है।
Shah and Port Blair ground stations
L110
continue to
shut off.
acquire data.
L110 stays separated. Cryo stage ignition command. Cryo stage ignition confirmed.
यहाँ सभी वैज्ञानिकों के लिए ये एक हर्ष का पल होता है। रेंज निदेशक द्वारा भी इसकी पुष्टि की गई। द्वितीय चरण को सफलतापूर्वक बनकर यान से पृथक कर दिया गया है तथा अंतिम चरण तृतीय चरण प्रज्वलन शुरू हो चुका है।
Now the third stage of LVM3 rocket, the cryogenic stage, has commenced its operation.
Cryo stage performance normal.
It is thrusting nominally with 28.6 tons of cumulative propellant loading of liquid hydrogen and liquid oxygen. The engine develops 200 kilonewtons thrust.
LVM3 रॉकेट के ऊपरी चरण जो कि क्रायोजेनिक अपर स्टेज कहलाता है, क्योंकि इसमें क्रायो ईंधन लिक्विड हाइड्रोजन तथा लिक्विड ऑक्सीजन का प्रयोग होता है। यह इंजन गैस टरबाइन की मदद से लगभग 200 किलोन्यूटन का सामान्य प्रणोद उत्पन्न करता है। इस चरण का कार्यकाल 648 सेकंड का होगा। इस चरण का व्यास 4 मीटर तथा ऊंचाई 13.5 मीटर की होती है। इस चरण में दिशा निर्धारण के लिए इंजन जिम्बल कंट्रोल और रिएक्शन कंट्रोल सिस्टम्स का प्रयोग किया जाता है। इस चरण में कुल 28.6 टन क्रायो ईंधन का भराव हुआ है और यह अपनी उद्दिष्ट कक्षा की ओर अग्रसर है। क्रायो चरण सबसे जटिल इंजन माना जाता है क्योंकि क्रायो ईंधन जैसे लिक्विड ऑक्सीजन जिसका कि बॉइलिंग पॉइंट -253 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड और लिक्विड ऑक्सीजन का बॉइलिंग पॉइंट -183 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड होता है। इस तापमान में ईंधन को तरल बनाए रखना और इनका कार्यान्वयन करना सबसे जटिल कार्य होता है, लेकिन भारत अब इसमें पूर्णतः स्वायत्ता प्राप्त कर चुका है। इस चरण को इसरो नोदक कॉम्प्लेक्स महेंद्रगिरी में तैयार तथा परीक्षित किया गया है।
The cryogenic stage C25 is powered by CE20 engines using liquid hydrogen and liquid oxygen. It delivers 200 kilonewton thrust and adds significant delta V of 3.89 kilometers per second by the end of its operation for the present mission. The stage operates on gas generator cycle. It works by burning a small fraction of propellant in a side chamber to power turbo pumps, while the majority of propellant goes into the main chamber for thrust. It's a highly reliable cryogenic engine operating principle. For the present mission, upper stage operates for 12 minutes and 20 seconds.
वर्तमान में पोर्ट ब्लेयर स्थित रडार स्टेशन हम तक आंकड़े उपलब्ध करा रहे हैं, जिससे हमें यह जानकारी मिल रही है कि यान पूरी तरह सुरक्षित और सामान्य प्रदर्शन कर रहा है और अपने उद्दिष्ट पथ की ओर अग्रसर है। LVM3-M6 के समर्पित वाणिज्यिक मिशन में यह उपग्रह ब्लूबर्ड ब्लॉक-2 जो कि अब तक का सबसे भारी संचार उपग्रह माना जा रहा है, यह लगभग 6100 किलोग्राम भारी है। यह उपग्रह निम्न पृथ्वी कक्षा में सीधे मोबाइल तक ब्रॉडबैंड कवरेज प्रदान करने में सक्षम है, जो वैश्विक रूप से दूरस्थ, ग्रामीण, समुद्री और असेवित क्षेत्रों के लिए लक्षित है। अंतरिक्ष प्रौद्योगिकी और मोबाइल की दुनिया में क्रांतिक तकनीक का प्रदर्शन करने वाला यह उपग्रह इसे संयुक्त राज्य अमेरिका के AST स्पेस मोबाइल ने तैयार किया है। यह उपग्रहों का नक्षत्र तैयार करने जा रहे हैं, जिसकी मदद से मौजूदा स्मार्टफोन में किसी भी समय और दूरस्थ क्षेत्रों में भी इंटरनेट सेवाएं उपलब्ध करा सकेंगे। इस तकनीक के लिए इसमें सबसे बड़े व्यावसायिक फेज्ड एरे एंटीना तैनात किए गए हैं, जो विस्तृत होकर लगभग 2400 वर्ग फुट तक फैल जाएंगे। इसमें संवर्धन कर पूर्ववर्ती ब्लूबर्ड उपग्रहों की तुलना में 10 गुना अधिक डेटा प्रसारण की क्षमता बनाई गई है। यह 4G तथा 5G जैसी सुविधाओं को सीधे अंतरिक्ष से मोबाइल तक पहुंचाने में सक्षम होंगे और वर्तमान में यह ब्लूबर्ड Block-2 एक बड़े नक्षत्र के बेड़े में शामिल होने जा रहा है।
The BlueBird Block-2 communication satellite developed by AST Space Mobile of USA is the heaviest payload the LVM-3 rocket has so far carried. The satellite is a part of the next generation of BlueBird communication satellites designed to provide space-based cellular broadband connectivity directly to standard mobile smartphones.
Cryostage performance normal.
This constellation of satellites will enable 4G and 5G voice and video calls, texts, streaming and data for everyone, everywhere at all times. It features a 223 square meter phased array, making it the largest commercial communication satellite ever deployed in low Earth orbit.
Plus 11 minutes.
The launch window for this launch is razor thin. The target orbit requires exact phasing and there is a need to ensure global coverage. One of the important global orbital parameters is the right extension of ascending node or RAN. It is the angle measured eastward from the vernal equinox to the point where a satellite crosses the equator going north. It defines the orientation of the orbital plane in space. Two satellites with the same inclination and attitude but different RAN are in different orbital planes. By combining RAN spacing or the plane distribution and phasing by way of satellite spacing, constellations achieve near global coverage. To insert satellites into specific RAN slots, launches must occur at precise times when the launch site aligns with the designed orbital plane. This mission is being undertaken as a part of commercial agreement between NSIL and AST and Science LLC, a US-based company.
तृतीय और अंतिम चरण का प्रज्वलन जारी है। LVM3-M6 अपने मिशन की ओर अग्रसर। LVM3 प्रमोचक यान ने यानों की श्रेणी में 5वीं पीढ़ी का प्रमोचक यान है, जिसकी क्षमता 10,000 किलोग्राम वाले उपग्रह को निम्न भूकक्षा में ले जाने की है। LVM3 के पिछले मिशनों में भारत का गौरव बढ़ाने वाले चंद्रयान-2, चंद्रयान-3, संचार उपग्रह CMS-03 और वाणिज्यिक मिशन में OneWeb India 1, OneWeb India 2 मिशन का सफलतापूर्वक हमने देखा।
13 minutes.
यह इस प्रमोचन यान की 6वीं प्रचालनरत उड़ान है और तीसरी वाणिज्यिक उड़ान है। अब तक पूर्ण विश्वसनीयता के साथ सभी मिशन को पूरा करने LVM3 रॉकेट इस बार भी सज्ज है LVM3-M6 ब्लूबर्ड Block-2 मिशन को पूरा करने के लिए। अब हम उड़ान से 815 सेकंड की दूरी पर आ चुके हैं। वर्तमान में यान की ऊंचाई 526 किलोमीटर तथा सापेक्ष गति 6.17 किलोमीटर प्रति सेकंड है।
Cryostage performance normal. Plus 14 minutes.
We are 14 minutes past the launch time. The cryogenic stage presently thrusting. The trajectory of the rocket precisely following the prediction.
तृतीय चरण पूर्णतः सामान्य, अपने अपेक्षित पथ का अनुकरण करते हुए उद्दिष्ट पथ की ओर जा रहा है और कुछ ही क्षणों में हम देखेंगे कि तृतीय चरण को कक्षा की स्थितियां प्राप्त होने पर स्वतः बंद कर दिया जाएगा और तत्पश्चात हमारे ब्लूबर्ड ब्लॉक 2 उपग्रह को कक्षा में स्थापित किया जाएगा।
A relative velocity of 7.07 kilometers per second has been acquired so far.
Cryo stage performance normal.
The cryo stage is expected to perform till,
Cryo stage shut off.
and here we have a confirmation of the shut
Satellite
off of
injection conditions achieved.
the shut off of cryo stage and eager awaiting for the satellite deployment.
BlueBird Block 2 satellite separated. LVM3-M6 BlueBird Block 2 mission successfully accomplished. Handing over to mission director.
अभी अभी रेंज निदेशक को आपने सुना।
Block 2 spacecraft is successfully injected into the specified orbit. LVM3-M6 mission is successfully accomplished.
ये सभी के लिए हर्ष और उत्साह का पल यहाँ पर, जिसमें इस मिशन में ब्लूबर्ड ब्लॉक 2 उपग्रह को सफलतापूर्वक उद्दिष्ट कक्षा में स्थापित कर दिया गया है।
We have had a successful mission of LVM3-M6 BlueBird Block 2 mission. Congratulations to Team ISRO, Team NCL and the customers AST Space Mobile. Do stay connected for the address by Secretary DOS, Chairman ISRO Dr. V. Narayanan and senior executives. We sign off from the commentary box. Namaskar.
जी हम आपसे आगे लेते हैं सभी दर्शकों और इनके उपभोक्ताओं जो इस मिशन से जुड़े हुए हैं। आप सभी को बहुत शुभकामनाएं। धन्यवाद।
Hello. Hello. Very good morning to all of you. I am extremely happy to announce that LVM3 Bahubali rocket M6 launch vehicle has successfully and precisely injected the BlueBird Block 2 communication satellite in the intended orbit. This is the first dedicated commercial launch for a customer from USA, that is AST Space Mobile. Let me congratulate the New Space India Limited, the launch vehicle teams of the Department of Space, and the satellite project team of AST Space Mobile on this outstanding achievement and contribution for the global community. This is our 104th launch from Sriharikota, also the 9th successful mission of LVM3 launch vehicle, demonstrating its 100% reliability. As all of you may recall, we had the LVM3 launch just last month, 2nd November 2025. This is also the first time we have a back-to-back mission of LVM3 within just 52 days. It's a great achievement and a great target achieved as per the vision of our Honorable Prime Minister of India. This was not an easy task considering the enormous efforts required, because it requires very close coordination among various teams at different ISRO centers, units, industry, launch complex, and the entire infrastructure availability. I take this opportunity to congratulate each and every team members for achieving this great feat for our country. Today's mission has brought yet another important glory to the India. This is the heaviest satellite ever lifted from Indian soil using a Indian launcher. This is also the third fully commercial mission of LVM3, and the vehicle has demonstrated its excellent track record, including the Chandrayaan-2, Chandrayaan-3, OneWeb missions and CMS-3 satellite. This has injected in the orbit. Dear friends, I am extremely happy to announce the performance of the orbit what we have got is less than 2 kilometer dispersion we have got. This is one of the best performance of any launch vehicle in the global arena. With this mission, India has successfully launched 434 satellites for 34 countries. In today's mission, as I told, all the vehicle systems have performed extremely well. We have also, for the first time, inducted electromechanical actuation control system for the S200, which is also successfully demonstrated for the first time. This gives us great confidence for the Gaganyaan program. And this achievement is because of the guidance, mentorship given by our elders, the robust review mechanism, hard and smart work of every Department of Space team members, our industrial partners, academia, for their outstanding contribution. On this occasion, let me also thank our mentors for the strong foundation made for us to stand great and accomplish this type of great missions. Also, let me take the opportunity to thank AST Space Mobile for having great confidence on Indian launcher and giving this opportunity for accomplishing this great feat. Even though a launch vehicle mission is a very, very tough job, today, the way the launcher has performed, that demonstrates the confidence and the single-minded devotion and hard and smart work of every members of the space activity. Let me congratulate all the review team members, audit committee members, and the entire elders, all the elders, and our family members on this great occasion. As you all know, the reward for hard work is more work. We are having lot of program in our hand, and we have to accomplish everything perfectly in a very systematic way. Right now, the orbit details are with me. We intended to achieve 520 kilometer circular orbit. What we have got is close to 518.5 kilometer circular orbit. That is the performance of this vehicle. With this, right now, we are having the leaders of Indian space program with me. So first, let me ask the project director and the mission director, Mr. Victor Joseph, to address the gathering. Mr. Victor.
Thank you, sir. So, very good morning to everyone. And once again, LVM3 has risen to the occasion. Respected Chairman ISRO, former Chairman, Center Directors, senior colleagues, and all those attending here and online. Today, we have the 9th consecutive successful flight of LVM3 and the 3rd international collaborative mission for LVM3. And today, we successfully launched the heaviest satellite ever lifted from Indian soil, the BlueBird Block-2, and placed it accurately in the designated orbit. On this significant occasion, I sincerely thank our respected Chairman for his continued leadership, guidance and encouragement, and I also acknowledge the steady support provided by all Center Directors throughout this mission. I thank the efforts of NCIL team for their effective coordination, and I thank AST for placing the trust in LVM3 for this very important launch. And special appreciation to all the review forums whose rigorous and timely evaluations ensured mission readiness at every stage. My sincere thanks goes to the development teams across all the launch vehicle centers, our industry partners, the assembly teams, the technical facilities, the quality safety groups. Our collaborative work culture is once again demonstrated. I also take this opportunity to acknowledge the families of our team members whose patience and support form the backbone of our collective efforts. I wish to specially recognize my project team, the Vehicle Director Biju Thomas, Associate Vehicle Director Sudesh, Associate Project Director Rajesh Shagar, the PMO team led by Dayal, Deputy Project Directors, and every member of LVM3 team. We were able to realize this back-to-back mission success within a very remarkably short time frame following the M5 mission. And also, we could demonstrate the technologies for significant jump in the payload capability of LVM3. So before I conclude, I wish AST team a smooth and successful spacecraft operations in the days ahead, and with the same focus, discipline and teamwork, I am confident that we will continue to contribute meaningfully to nation's space endeavors. Thank you.
We have got the launch vehicle team led by the Director of Vikram Sarabhai Space Center, Mr. Rajarajan with us. Mr. Rajarajan.
Thank you, Chairman. Most respected Chairman, Secretary, Department of Space, and former Chairman, mentors, distinguished professors, Center Directors, all my colleagues, and the respected customer, AST. It was a overwhelming experience to have a back-to-back launch, and that too successfully, putting this spacecraft into the as required orbit. It's a wonderful performance, marvelous, showcasing that we all people can put our heart and soul into the job and put back to make in 52 days. And I thank each one of the team players who really worked to make each and every component in the launch vehicle system to be flight ready, worthy, and make it possible with all the efforts and a rigorous review system that we put in place with the help of all the past experience that we have and the expertise, and we showed that we can have a launch vehicle in a month's time. It also showcases that responsibility as we graduate from one launch after other. It is actually equal to every delivery is a rebirth. Every launch is equivalent to putting ourselves to rededicate and do things as if we are doing for the first time and making sure in a professional way. That's what it showcases in philosophical manner. I think we are coming of an age, we have to ensure and also put the team having so many launch campaigns that we had to simultaneously do. I think we have to be able to do like studying different subjects at the same time for each semester or college. we have to be ready for every type of vehicle at the same time, so that we as the nation looks for putting more demand and including every aspects of the aspiration of every team players in this country, so that we can enable the launches to happen as required, as demanded by our respected chairman, who puts in lot of dedication and taking effort to take care of each and every employee's efforts also, to say that they are keep focused, enable them to keep focused and do what is required, so that we can do. I assure that we should dedicate ourselves to make more and more launches in a frequent manner to make it happen, so that we enable all the assets to be put in the right places. Wishing you all the best. Have a happy new year beginning. Do well, do best, and we'll keep our flag flying. Thank you.
Thank you. We have Mr. Padma Kumar, the lab chairman, and Satish Dhawan Space Center director. Mr. Padma Kumar.
Thank you, sir. Respected chairman, respected former chairman, Dr. Radhakrishnan, Kiran Kumar sir, director IAC, and all my colleagues and the team from AST Mobile and NSIL. So it's a really proud moment for all of us. We have the 9th launch perfect, and the 3rd commercial mission, and the heaviest satellite from lifted from Indian soil. So many things to remember this mission by. And the best turnaround time, about 52 days that we have demonstrated. And I am sure that we can do much better than that. All this has come through by the great effort by the ISRO team, and specifically to my hats off to my SHA team for a near perfect vehicle assembly and integration phase, and my associate director Sri Muthu Cheriyan, controller Ramesh Babu. I can go on like that. All the best to you for the next mission. We have series of missions now lined up for the next month, for January, February, March. Chairman has put us a great schedule in front of us, and we will try to put in all our best efforts to meet those schedules. Thank you. See you again here.
Mr. Mohan, Director of Liquid Propulsion Systems Center and Acting Chairman Managing Director of New Space India Limited, which has executed this contract with the foreign customer. Yes, Mr. Mohan.
Good morning to India. Good morning to all of you here. So it's a great day today for us, especially for the Department of Space and the nation, to have collaborated with the space agency from USA and AST Mobile. The US company has entrusted the responsibility of launching the heaviest satellite from the Indian soil, and which we accomplished to precision today. So last few weeks was a bit hectic for us, especially the satellite was brought to Sriharikota on 16th of October. Then subsequently the activities were progressing, but more than following up this mission, the AST team was following up the previous mission, because any delay in the previous mission will directly affect this mission. And we started planning this mission from the first week of December, but due to various reasons that had to be postponed. But we are extremely happy that we were able to give them a Christmas gift as a fantastic launch today, and starting your operations from the new year beginning, you are going to be doing the surveys what you intended to in the orbit. So on this occasion, let me specifically compliment the team of LPSC for having made sure that this 1 minute window was the original time given for us today, but that 1 minute was something like too much of time for us, because it went to that precision of the servicing operations, the planning, the execution, great activity support from execution by the propellant filling service team, as well as the avionics system team, integration team, checkout teams. Ultimately, even though we had a few hiccups, we came back very strongly, and the perseverance of the launch vehicle team is something, it was phenomenal to have come back and targeted this on 24th. the AST team requested, don't take it to 25th or 26th, make it 24th, which we could do it. So congratulations to the NSIL team who toiled hard with this team of AST. They were here for almost a month. And also congratulations to the LPSC team and all the ISRO teams who have contributed this. And a lot of things to do in front of us in the new year. So wish you all a Merry Christmas and a very Happy New Year 2026. Thank you. Jai Hind.
We have with us Mr. Asit Pakiraj. Along with the LPSC team, the ISRO Propulsion Complex at Mahendragiri has delivered the L1 ton stage and the upper cryogenic stage, the C-25 cryogenic stage. So he will address.
Thank you, sir. Good morning to all. So the BlueBird has flown to the right place. Congratulations, respected Chairman ISRO, Secretary DOIs and Chairman Space Commission, the distinguished members of the Space Commission, the team DOIs, ISRO, NSIL, and the customers, the family members, my dear colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. Very good morning to all of you. It has been very heartening to see the LVM3 placing the BlueBird Block-2 on the right destination, the very right pillbox. This is the result of a very hard and continuous smart work by all the centers of ISRO. And in particular, I greet my IPRC family who are sitting and watching at Mahendragiri, and a few members are here with me here. And the meticulous testing of the Vikas engine, the making of the L1 ton stage, the testing of the C-20 engine for a longer duration to 100 seconds as an acceptance test, and making the C-25 stage in order, in time, and the supply of the ultra pure liquid hydrogen for the mission has been the responsibility of IPRC for this particular mission, which the team IPRC has accomplished meticulously to see that the mission has reached the ultimate success today. Greetings to all my colleagues, and as the chairman said, the reward for good work is going to be more work for all of us, and the new year is going to dawn with the handful of activities and missions which is going to take ISRO to a greater height and bringing laurels for our nation in the process of nation building. Thank you all. Jai Hind.
Mr. Soumya Narayana, who is leading the ISRO Inertial System Unit with us. Mr. Soumya Narayana.
Thank you, Chairman. Respected Chairman ISRO, all our former Chairman ISROs, all our seniors, my colleagues, and NSIL members and the spacecraft customers. Very good morning to all of you, and a hearty congratulations to all of us, to all of you, and their ISRO family members for achieving this grand successful mission. And as Chairman ISRO already pointed out, and other members also pointed out, our inertial systems functioned flawlessly, and we achieved the orbit within 2 kilometer accuracy. Satellite delta V, in terms of delta V, hardly less than 1 meter per second. That is the injection accuracy we had. And I wish, because so many other programs are coming in this year, I wish all the programs will be grand success. Wish you happy Christmas also. Thank you.
Dr. Anil Kumar, who is leading the ISTRAC team with us. Dr. Anil Kumar.
Good morning to all, most respected Chairman, former Chairman, other distinguished guests. Let me congratulate and compliment the whole ISRO team for this wonderful success of the LVM3-M6 BlueBird Block-2 mission. This shows that LVM3-M6 mission is 9th consecutive success. Successfully it is done for 9 times with 3 commercial missions. It shows that we have another launch vehicle, a heavy lift launch vehicle for commercial applications. It's a gift to nation, a New Year gift and a Christmas gift on the eve of the Christmas. So let me thank all ISRO team for putting the dedicated efforts for this success. As far as ISTRAC is concerned, this time we had a new station from Brin, Bogor, which has given little concerns earlier, but we could make it. There were no data loss for all through the trajectories. And our stations like Shars, Vijayapuram, everything worked excellently well within the specifications, satisfactorily well. And let me thank all the ISTRAC team who have worked tirelessly for this mission the few days. It's actually from the last mission to this mission only 50 days were there. We could do it everything, coordinate with other agencies as well. Let me thank all ISFAC team, especially the ground station network team led by our AD, Raghavendra, and spacecraft operations team, POD. We have got a POD results by Nandini, and other teams, communications teams, SR teams, especially software teams, Vedas teams. Everybody has worked excellently well. Let me thank each one of the ISFAC team, and we dedicate ourselves for all the future missions. So this is we are ending with a happy note this year. Thank you all. Have a very nice New Year ahead and happy Christmas. Thank you.
Now I invite the customer side represented by Mr. Mark McLaren from AST Space Mobile for your views. Mr. Mark, please.
Thank you very much to ISRO and to INSIL for their excellent performance, cooperation during this campaign. It's been a pleasure to be here, and everyone has been very good and very helpful, and we're very glad to see our spacecraft finally in orbit, and thank you for an excellent ride. Thank you very much.
We have got with us two Space Commission members, Dr. Radhakrishnan sir and Professor Govindarajan with us, and the former chairman, Kiran Kumar sir with us. So on this occasion, let me thank all the three of you for your continued support and blessing to be part of this mission. Also, I take this opportunity to thank the expert committee chaired by different team members, including the former directors, former associate directors. One of the former associate director, Kunnikumaran, is here. And let me take this opportunity, not mentioning individual names, let me take this opportunity to thank each and every review committee members for your outstanding contribution and enabling this great successful mission. And dear friends, as it was told, it is the great New Year and Christmas gift to Bharat, and we are almost at the end of 2025. The year 2025 was a very exciting year of achievement and accomplishment. We had the NISR mission, CMS-03 mission, and of course today we have got the BlueBird Block-2 mission. And other than that, lot of achievements were done. Under the visionary leadership of Honorable Prime Minister of India, Sri Narendra Modi ji, the next year is promising, going to be more exciting, and we have got lot of responsibility to accomplish lot of important missions. The major missions are the uncrewed Gaganyaan missions we have to accomplish, and we are getting towards that. And ISRO's launch vehicle, realized by industrial consortium, is ready, and we are getting ready for that launches. And our startup companies are doing great job. One of the orbital launch mission from one of the Indian startup companies targeted very shortly, maybe in couple of weeks, that is targeted. And the SSLV, already the development phase of small satellite launch vehicle is completed. We are going to start the operational phase of the small satellite launch vehicle. And one of the important commitment given to our country is the commissioning of the navigation satellites. That satellite series we are going to continue and going to start placing the satellites in the orbit. Yet another important mission is the technology demonstration satellite mission, in which we are going to demonstrate almost 30 new technologies. That mission is also targeted. And of course, we are looking for the commercial missions from NSIL. Couple of missions are already planned. And user-funded satellites for different ministries and departments we have to accomplish. And also, the government of India has given lot of new approvals, and we have to accelerate the activities related to the approved new projects like Chandrayaan 4, Chandrayaan 5, and Indian Space Station, Venus Orbiter Mission, and Next Generation Launcher, and so on. On this occasion, on behalf of Department of Space, let me also express our New Year greetings to every Indian And once again, hearty congratulations to each and every members of the Department of Space and Space Community of India. Till we come back, we sign off. Thank you. Jai Hind.
RC பிளானை எங்க இயர் லாங் ப்ரோக்ராம்ல படிக்கிற ஒரு 6th ஸ்டாண்டர்ட் பையன் பில்ட் பண்ணது. அது எப்படி பாசிபிள்னு கேக்குறீங்களா? அதுக்கு காரணம் அவங்க எங்களோட இயர் லாங் ப்ரோக்ராமான சிட்டி ஃபியூச்சர் ஸ்கூல்ல ஆரோ மாடலிங், ராக்கெட் சயின்ஸ், ரோபோட்டிக்ஸ், ஏஐன்னு வேரியஸ் ஸ்கில்ஸ்ல 200+ ப்ராஜெக்ட்ஸை செஞ்சு பார்த்து அதுக்கு பின்னாடி இருக்க கான்செப்டை புரிஞ்சுக்கிட்டது தான். இந்த ப்ரோக்ராமை பத்தி இன்னும் டீட்டெயிலாக தெரிஞ்சுக்கணும் அப்படின்னு ஆசைப்பட்டீங்கன்னா எங்களோட 1-on-1 டெமோ செஷனுக்கு ரிஜிஸ்டர் பண்ணிக்கோங்க. நீங்க ரிஜிஸ்டர் பண்ண உடனே இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு கிட்ட உங்க வீட்டுக்கே சென்ட் பண்ணிடும். கிட்ட ரிசீவ் பண்ண உடனே எங்க டீம்ல இருந்து உங்களுக்கு ஒரு 1-on-1 டெமோ செஷன் ஃபிக்ஸ் பண்ணுவாங்க. அந்த செஷன்ல உங்களுக்கு இந்த கிட்ட யூஸ் பண்ணி சில ஹேண்ட்ஸ்-ஆன் ப்ராஜெக்ட்டையும் செய்ய வைப்பாங்க. அதுக்கு பின்னாடி இருக்க சயின்ஸ் கான்செப்டையும் புரிய வைப்பாங்க. ஸோ அதுக்கப்புறம் நீங்க இந்த ப்ரோக்ராம்ல ஜாயின் பண்ணலாமா வேணாவா அப்படின்றத டிசைட் பண்ணிக்கலாம். உங்க பசங்க கிளாஸ் 1 to 8 படிச்சுட்டு இருக்காங்க அப்படின்னா இந்த டெமோ செஷனுக்கு நீங்க ரிஜிஸ்டர் பண்ணிக்கலாம். ரொம்பவே லிமிட்டடான சீட்ஸ் தான் அவைலபிளா இருக்கு.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my attempt always to go to the nub of the issue. Joining us is Justice B.R. Gavai, former Chief Justice of India and the author of this judgment on the Aravalis, which is being debated all over the country. Justice Gavai, I hope you will go through my questions and give me appropriate replies, because fundamentally, and I would like to begin by saying this, Justice Gavai, that I have a fundamental disagreement with your judgment, which as a citizen of India, I'm entitled to have. The Aravalis stood for 2 billion years. The judgment that has redefined them was delivered 3 days before your retirement. What was the hurry, Justice Gavai? The judgment was delivered on 20th November and you retired on 23rd November. What was the tearing hurry?
See, I have been monitoring this issue for more than 3 years. If you go through the judgment, we had raised... Firstly, see, judges are not supposed to justify their judgment, but since this is an important issue and there's a misconception about the judgment, I agreed to speak to you. If you go through the judgment entirely, the difficulty is that the persons speak about the judgment without even reading them in the entirety. So if you go through the entire judgment, I had given the entire narration as to how the matter arose. There was some issue with regard to the difference adopted by the various states with regard to definition of Aravali hills and Aravali ranges. So in order to settle those matters, we heard the matter on number of occasions. Various issues were framed, and after hearing the matter, once you hear the matter at length, if you don't decide the judgment, it's like shirking your judgment.
Justice Gavai, may I ask you, how
Yeah,
can
sure.
you pass that comment on me on my program that I have made my judgments on the issue without having gone through the judgment? I would politely, completely disagree with this presumption of yours and remind you that I have seen your judgment in entirety. In fact, no, I don't think you can pass a judgment like that, pass a comment like that on my observations, sir. I take offense to that.
No.
Having said that,
what I've seen on your program is that it is being projected as if we have given a complete license for mining in the Aravali Hill, but that's not correct. If you go through the judgment, we have in fact imposed certain more restrictions on mining in the Aravali Hills and ranges. We have directed that.
Sir, your own judgment makes it clear on paragraph 30 that your final word went against the amicus curiae, who is a friend of the court. Very explicitly, Justice Gavai, in paragraph 30 of your judgment, it notes that the amicus curiae had stated in his submission, quote, if the definition as recommended by the committee is accepted, all the hills below the height of 100 meters would be opened up for mining, and as a result, the Aravali hills and the ranges would lose their continuity and integrity. It would totally endanger the environment and ecology of the mountains.
So therefore, if you read the further parts of the judgment, we have considered the rival submissions of both the parties. We have accepted the report of the committee, which was consisting of various experts, various representatives of the state governments, and then we, on a surrender pattern, we have specifically directed that no further mining activities would be conducted.
Justice Gavai, in fact, in para 31, the arguments of the Additional Solicitor General have been documented. I've read that as contradicting what the amicus curiae had said on the premise that, and I quote, it would exclude large areas from the Aravali hills and ranges. She, however, submitted that if the definition as suggested by the committee is adopted, unquote. If the amicus curiae, who is a friend of the court, has explicitly taken the view contrarian to the committee view, which has ministry at its helm, which has government at its helm, shouldn't the court have taken the view of the amicus and not that of the government pioneered by the ASG?
Mr. Arnab, the court is required to take into consideration the submissions of both the sides. The court cannot accept. It's not necessary that always the court has to accept the submissions are made by one behalf. Maybe the learned amicus is a friend of a court. The court has to consider all the aspects, and after considering the aspect, the court comes to an opinion. So it is not as if that we have to accept the arguments of one side into
no, but the amicus curiae, respected Mr. Justice Gavai, was going by the FSI criteria, but it said that the FSI criteria better preserve the ecological integrity of the Aravalis. Mike, with due respect to you, Justice Gavai, the FSI is comprised of India's topmost and most respected experts on matters of ecology and environment. Does that not matter to you? Are the experts less aware than the government? Or for that matter, less aware than the judiciary?
Mr. Arnab, the FSI was also a part of the larger committee which was appointed by the court. The committee consisted of various experts from various fields, including the representative of the FSI. And the report which was submitted was not only by the government, it was a report of the experts. It was only submitted through the government.
Sir, I am quoting from your judgment, para 27. The FSI had clearly defined the Aravalis in 2010 as, quote, under slope over 3 degrees, foothill buffer equal 100 meters, interhill distance or valley width equal 500 meter, and for the area enclosed by the above defined hills from all sides. What was the need to revisit this definition in the first place?
There was no question of... therefore, I made...
Why did you have to revisit this definition in the first place?
So therefore, I made a submission that the comments are made without reading the judgment. If you go through the earlier parts of the judgment, the necessity was felt because all the 4 different states applied different yardstick insofar as the definition of Aravali hills and definition of Aravali ranges are concerned.
But that can't be a reason. So the fact that the old definition...
Please listen to me.
Sir, please. The fact is the old definition... So the fact is the old definition recognizes slope, buffer, valley, enclosure and continuity, the very elements that make a mountain range a living ecological system, not a collection of isolated bumps. And yet, the court walked away from it. Why?
Not walked through it. On the contrary, if you read the operative paragraphs as well as the earlier paragraphs, we have specifically said that on a Saranda pattern, the MSAP has to be prepared, wherein the mining which it will provide which are the areas where the mining will be prohibited and where the sustainable mining would be permitted.
That's what she said. Yo, why so irritated? You're messing or what?
Irritants, part of life. Don't make them part of your period. Choose better, choose Noah. Complete comfort pads with zero irritation promise. Periods, now irritation free.
Need better friends. Need a better job.
Noah, better for her.
கண்டிப்பா அந்த டாலர் போட்டிருந்த அந்த பொண்ணை பத்தி யாருக்காவது தெரிஞ்சிருக்கும். நீ எங்க இருந்தாலும் உன்னை கண்டுபிடிச்சு இந்த செயினை கொடுத்து உங்ககிட்ட தேங்க்ஸும் சொல்லணும். அம்மா ஒரு நிமிஷம், இந்த டாலரை போட்ட பொண்ணை பாத்திருக்கீங்களாம்மா?
இல்லங்க தாயே, நான் தேடின செயினை என் கண்ணில் காட்டிட்டேன். எப்படியாவது என் கையில கொண்டு வந்து சேர்த்துரு.
நீ வீடியோ கால் வா, எனக்கு திருஷ்டி சுத்தும் போது நம்ம 2 பேருக்கும் சுத்துற மாதிரி செஞ்சிடறேன்.
கட்டாயிச்சு.
திருமாங்கல்யம் காணுங்கள் Z5-இல்.
Sir, I would request you, Justice Gavai, there is a precautionary principle in law. The precautionary principle applies in this case, doesn't it? The precautionary principle in environmental cases means taking preventive action to protect the environment from serious or irreversible harm, even when there is no scientific evidence which is not fully conclusive. This means, as per precedent of the law, the onus is on precaution and safety. Why didn't you apply? I would like to ask you, you have been the Chief Justice of India. The nation wants to know from you, you've been Chief Justice of India in this case, why did you not apply the precautionary principle in this case? There have been innumerable precedents of precautionary principles being applied by the honorable courts on matters of environment. I don't find those quoted in your judgment. May I ask you why?
If you read the operative part, it is very much clear that unless the MSCP is finalized by the IFTRI and finalized by the MOEF, no further mining licenses would be granted.
Justice Gavai, Well-Lord Citizens Welfare Forum versus Union of India 1996. The Supreme Court declared the precautionary principle a legally enforceable principle crucial for sustainable development and shifted the onus of proof onto polluters. MC Mehta versus Union of India, Taj Trapezium case 1986. The Supreme Court used the precautionary principle to stop industries from burning coal near the Taj Mahal, recognizing harm from pollution. I am not an advocate, but I am asking the former Chief Justice of India, a matter of principle, why did Justice Gavai not apply? Why did the 3-judge bench not apply the precautionary principle in this case?
If you kindly go through the operative part, clause 4 and 5 make it very much clear that unless the MSAP is finalized by IFTRI and MOEF, no further mining licenses will be granted in all 4 states in the Aravalli Hills. If that is not a precautionary principle, the precautionary principle means that in matters that are likely to affect the environment, it is not required to prove that the activity will cause harm, but that the activity is prohibited unless it can be established that it is benign. No one is suggesting here that deforesting the Aravallis will... Sir? What does the prohibition on the new mining licenses amount to?
Then let me ask you the AP Pollution Control Board versus MV Naidu case 1990 to 2000. Landmark Indian Supreme Court judgment that reinforced the precautionary principle, established the right to clean water as a part of the right to life, Article 21, and placed the burden of proof on polluters. All these cases were there for you to look at, sir.
We have looked at the cases, and this is T.N. Godavaram and N.C. Mehta are the continuing mandamus proceedings. They are not as if we have closed the matters. The matters are...
What do you mean? It's not as it... Sir, I'm asking... You're saying the matter is not closed?
Matter is not closed. We have directed the MSCP to get the report. The MSCP report will come to the Supreme Court. Supreme Court will find out wherein the mining activities are to be permitted and where they are to be prohibited. It is not as if that the matter is closed.
Sir, but you've not looked at other cases which were in the public domain. There is a May report by the government. It's titled Detailed Action Plan Aravali Landscape Restoration, in brackets Aravali Green Wall. The irony is this report was published by the Ministry of Environment and Forests. It's not even an old report. It was published in May 25, just 8 months before the Supreme Court redefined the Aravalis. It involved the Forest Survey of India, state forest departments of Delhi, Gujarat, Haryana, Rajasthan, along with German Cooperation for International Cooperation. Now, this report was in the public domain and the nation wants to know from you, Justice Gavai, as the former Chief Justice of India, would you see it the other way, that this report had very much established the threat to the Aravalis? 8 months before your judgment, your new definition allows for leeway by the mining players to exploit an already depleting resource.
Mr. Arnab Goswami, it is firstly not the definition provided by the court. It is the report of the committee of the experts. The court found that the report was liable to be accepted subject to the further requirement regarding, I am again repeating it, we are again going to the same question.
So you don't completely agree with the government's version, which the government says we are only going by what the Supreme Court says. You are saying you're only going by what the government told.
We are going by what the report of the experts, of which the FSO was also a party. We only accepted that, and in addition to acceptance, we imposed certain stringent conditions which would protect the mining activities. Unless the MSCP is finalized, no further mining will be permitted. If you go through,
Sir, you've seen the
if you kindly go through paragraph 4 and paragraph 5 of the operative order, it is more than clear.
Sir, you have seen the affidavit out here, sir, of the government which was filed in this case, because I have gone through it in detail. It's 2000. You say I have not seen the reports, but I have read every word of the 2,334-page additional affidavit filed by the Ministry of Environment. Sir, I am very detailed in my work. Sir, the fact of the matter is the government is trying to institutionalize mining as a core objective, not as an exception, by formally designing a framework whose purpose is to enable exploitation, mining inside the Aravalis.
No, but then we have not accepted that. We have specifically stated that unless and until MSAP, the Management of Sustainable Development Plan, is finalized, no further mining leases will be granted in Aravali.
Sir, may I ask you a question, sir? You also said, sir, now that there is considerable public outrage on this matter, and by informed people, not uninformed people, do you believe that if necessary, this matter should be looked at again, reviewed, discussed?
I have always stated that the law has to be static, law has to be developing, law has to be organic. We have, on various occasions, wherever we have found that earlier orders are not correct, the courts have always corrected them. So, so therefore, I was not inclined to speak to you because the matter may come in review, and normally the author of the judgment should not speak about the judgment. But since you insisted that this is an important issue pertaining to environment, so if the subsequent benches find that something more to be done, it is always permissible. The TNM Godavari is a continuous maintenance process.
So it can come up for review. I mean, your view is given. I'm sure you've kept track of the public discussion on this matter, sir, over the last few days. And the amount of attention it has got.
If the court subsequently finds that something more needs to be done, something needs to be corrected, the courts can always do it.
And the government should be open to review as well, given all the expert opinion, others, it can be put through review again, this decision, this definition?
I can't comment on what the subsequent, because I am now I can't be a part of the bench now, I am out of the system. Wherever the matter is brought before the bench will always take into consideration all the aspects.
Sir, is the Supreme Court adjudicating mineral potential or environmental protection?
It is considering environment protection, and if you go through the various orders which preceded this order is not passed in a day. It is passed over an exercise which was undertaken for last more than 1.5 years, insofar as Aravalis are concerned. And I have always been...
So the government is portraying this as a Supreme Court mandated environment protection, as an economic loss, building a grievance narrative to reopen mining on revenue. My point is, sir, you are you are the author of this report. I have read every word of the report.
Of the judgment.
Why of the judgment? Yeah, of the judgment. I believe there needs to be some balance.
I have
between
always
the views of the government and the concerns of the citizens.
I have always been advocating the concept of protection of environment, protection of ecology, and the sustainable development. So wherever there is a conflict, a balance has to be given. The environment has to be protected. Ecology has to be protected. I must have authored around 18 to 20 judgments in last 3 years for the protection of environment. And the courts are always, it is always permissible for the court if there is something more to be done, something to be corrected. The courts are always open to it.
Sir, matters are taken suo motu by the courts.
Yes, sir. T.N. Godavarna is a suo motu. MC Mehta is a suo motu. MC Mehta is on a postcard of MC Mehta.
But this was a suo motu as well.
This was not a suo motu. If you go through it, the concerns were raised by the various states that there is no consistency insofar as the definition of Aravalli hills and ranges is concerned. And therefore, in order to bring a common, uniform definition, the court was required to go into all these issues. It was
so what stops anyone from redefining? Sir, tomorrow somebody will define the Ganges. Tomorrow somebody will redefine the Himalayas. I said the other day with respect that the Supreme Court of India did not create the Himalayas or the Aravallis.
I have already told you it was necessary in order to protect the illegal mining activities which were going on. The various states were saying that it is not in the area doesn't fall in Aravalli hills and therefore the mining can go on. In order to avoid all that, we were required to pass those decisions.
So I think that, okay, so here's the point. Now, in this particular case, Justice Gawai, the nation is angry. 80% of the people feel there should be a revisiting of the judgment. Are you, what is your view on the need to, on revisiting the judgment? Because the government is taking a very stern, inflexible position. You're the author of the judgment.
I can't make any comment on that because any comment by me may be prejudging the issue because I am out of the system. I don't want to make any statement which may have a direct, indirect effect on the proceedings that may arise in the court. And that is why I was reluctant to speak because the judges before whom if the review is filed are always entitled to take a relook at the matter and take appropriate action. I can't make any comment which may have.
Well, I appreciate your coming on air tonight because I got a chance to put some straight questions. I hope you will also say, sir, today that after this interview, you would not say that I have not read the judgment, and I hope you find the merit in the questions that I have phrased before you. Because I believe Justice Gawai, that the judiciary is important, the media is also important.
Yes,
it's important for us to get the opportunity for this interaction.
For the media, but I again say that you have not read the judgment completely. If you had read the judgment, the first 2 or 3 paragraphs, you would have come to know as to why this entire exercise was necessary.
Sir, I again tell you, I have read every word of the judgment from the first to the last page. And I have not just read this judgment, I have read previous judgments on the matter, and I politely disagree with your interpretation.
Anyway, we are not here to convince each other. We are not here to convince each other.
No, I'm not trying to convince you.
Yeah. I still hold that had you read the judgment, you would know as to why the requirement for having the definition was required.
Sir, I have read the judgment entirely. Otherwise, how could I quote para, chapter and verse to you right now on the judgment?
Then if you have read the judgment, it is the learned amicus who requested the court to take steps to define the judgment, define the definition of Aravalli hills and Aravalli ranges.
Well, I mean, everybody is shooting off the other shoulder, sir.
So anyway, thank you very much. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, Justice Gawai.
Yeah,
and thank you for coming on Republic.
Namaskar viewers, hello and welcome to Thanthi TV. I am Dina Thanthi. You are watching Perspective. India and New Zealand have concluded a comprehensive free trade agreement, a move set to significantly deepen economic ties and boost trade, investment and cooperation between the two countries. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and New Zealand Prime Minister Christopher Luxon announced the successful conclusion of the FTA negotiations following a telephonic conversation. Notably, the discussions on the India-New Zealand FTA began during Prime Minister Luxon's visit to India in March this year, making this one of India's fastest ever trade deals, concluded in a record time of just 9 months. Both Prime Ministers have described the agreement as historic and mutually beneficial. They expressed confidence in doubling bilateral trade within the next 5 years, alongside the planned investment inflows of $20 billion from New Zealand into India over the next 15 years. Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal, speaking on the landmark agreement, said the FTA is centered around people and opportunities which support the Indian farmers, the entrepreneurs, the students and the innovators. Listen in.
Our complementary strengths between New Zealand and India, whether in agri-tech, whether in food processing, whether in clean energy and renewable energy, whether through mining, whether through our talent and skills of our young professionals, opportunities for dual degrees and setting up campuses of prestigious universities in India, while also encouraging Indian students to go to New Zealand and gain high quality education, and promoting MSME manufacturing in India. This FTA provides opportunities for all sections of our export community, opens up new doors for new exporters with new products wishing to diversify their export basket, and at the same time helps every region of the country, north, south, east, west, northeast, in different areas. It has some very interesting new elements of technical collaboration in fruit cultivation, in honey production and other areas, including dairy, where they will bring latest modern technology to India to help our farmers, our dairy persons increase their incomes. It will certainly be a great boost for labor intensive sectors like textiles, apparel, home decor, footwear, rubber and leather, while also encouraging export of automobiles, auto components, machinery, electronic goods, electricals, pharmaceuticals.
Just a quick recap of the key highlights of the India-New Zealand FTA, which include elimination and reduction of tariffs on 95% of New Zealand's exports to India, India offering tariff cuts across 70% of tariff lines, covering 95% of bilateral trade. Also, major commitments have been secured in IT and IT-enabled services, with India receiving most favoured nation status in 139 subsectors. Also, a new temporary employment entry visa pathway for skilled Indian professionals, which means 5,000 visas at any given time, allowing a stay of up to 3 years in the country. A dedicated agri-technology action plan on kiwi fruit, apples and honey, promoting productivity, research partnerships, technology, quality enhancement and also value chain development. All of this comes alongside New Zealand's commitment to facilitate $20 billion in investments into India over the next 15 years. So on the show today, we are going to explore what this agreement means for unlocking the full potential of the India-New Zealand partnership and the opportunities that it opens up across multiple sectors for both the countries. Two distinguished experts now join us on the program to take this conversation forward. I'm delighted to welcome Ambassador Jayant Dasgupta, former Indian ambassador to the WTO. Ambassador, thank you for joining in. Welcome to the program. I'm also pleased to welcome Dr. Anshu Joshi, Professor of International Relations, School of International Studies, JNU. Professor, thank you for your time. Welcome to the program. So we'll talk about the specialities of the comprehensive agreement in greater detail in due course of the program, with your perspectives on what are some of the significant takeaways. But Professor Joshi, to begin with, since this is the 7th FTA that India has signed in recent years, this is the third one in this year itself after our FTAs with both the UK and Oman. This one with New Zealand comes in just a record 9 months. What does this range of engagement across different regions indicate about India's growing role and importance in global economic diplomacy?
Well, first and foremost, thank you so much, Tina, for having me on this show for this very significant talk. And yes, this FTA that we have finalized with New Zealand in record time of 9 months. Today, the announcement has been made, and the negotiations of this FTA between India and New Zealand started when the Prime Minister of New Zealand visited India in March 2025. And now this FTA has been finalized. And before this FTA, we have signed another FTAs, partial trade agreements also with other like-minded nations belonging to different continents in the world, from West Asia also, in Europe also, within Asia itself. And that shows India's commitment to diversify its market, its outreach to other like-minded nations, and ensure its economic progress, while also creating a win-win situation with the like-minded nations who collaborate with India and who want to grow with India, as in we are the fastest growing economy of the world. And if I speak about this particular FTA, it also reflects what India has been doing, as in we are calling it FTA diplomacy, or in economic diplomacy, India is achieving in few days we see these kind of announcements, and with that the economy of India of course boosts. So it is while elaborating and strengthening the trade relations with countries like New Zealand now, India is ensuring not only its own economic progress but a good life for each and every citizen of India. So when I talk about this particular FTA, this is like a very significant one with which our exports to New Zealand will get zero duty access, and there would be tariff elimination across all tariff lines.
Absolutely.
Which is very significant announcement.
We will talk about
Yes.
the trade benefits and some of the concessions in other areas as well. So all in all, the crux is that in multiple sectors, this FTA is going to deepen the engagement between India and New Zealand. We'll discuss some of the specific ones in due course. But let me also bring in Ambassador into the discussion. Ambassador, the government calls this FTA as a new generation, balanced and forward-looking agreement. In your view, what makes it different from the earlier such agreements that we've signed, and especially with countries like India and Oman that we've signed this year?
Needs to be borne in mind is that New Zealand has FTAs with both the ASEAN and China, and many other countries as well. Now, India, had to walk out of the RCEP negotiations at the last moment, which was a 16-nation negotiation, with India being one and 15 other countries, 10 ASEAN, then Australia, New Zealand, Japan, Korea, and China. Now, this agreement seals the gap, the last remaining gap. Apart from China, India has now FTAs with ASEAN, with Japan, with Korea from before, and Australia, of course, it signed a couple of years ago, and now New Zealand. So barring China, India has FTAs with all the countries of RCEP barring China. So that is a huge achievement, because it will enable India to reap the benefits of synergy with all these other economies, like, I have mentioned the countries just now. So that is the first point. The second point is that India has gained a lot of access in the services sector. And in services, our trade was, bilateral trade was about $1.24 billion last year. And our merchandise trade was not very impressive. The bilateral trade was only $1.3 billion. So services has a tremendous potential to increase vis-a-vis New Zealand. And one of the things which we are looking forward to is greater cooperation in tourism, in the health sector, in the IT and IT-enabled services sector, and so on. There is a special protocol also in this agreement on healthcare and on Ayurveda. So all these things put together, if you look at it, it is not only a bilateral FTA which has to be looked at through the prism of India's larger engagements with countries in the region, which is the Asia Pacific. So that is one thing. And the last point I wanted to mention is that New Zealand is a small country with, in terms of population, with a population of only about 53 lakhs, of which about 292,000 people, which is about 5.5% of the population, is Indian. And many of them have gone there to study, and then they have stayed on. Many have gone on work visas as skilled professionals. And both these categories, students who go there to study, especially STEM, science, technology, engineering, and management, they have now been given an opportunity to stay on for 3 more years post-study work visa under this agreement. And for working professionals also, 5,000 visas are to be given. And there is another third category, which is a working holiday visa, which means that people can go on a holiday and also work during their period of contract, and that will be for 12 months. But this will also enable a lot of people from India to go to New Zealand and explore the possibilities of getting employment there. So this will lead to, I think, greater people-to-people, interactions, exploring each.
தாவேக்காவை பொறுத்த மட்டும் இன்னுமே அந்த பூத் கமிட்டி அமைக்கக்கூடிய பணிகள்